Imagine the deafening roar of military helicopters, the smell of napalm in the morning. But the soldier delivering that iconic, world-weary line is, well, an orange tabby.
Right, wearing a cavalry hat, no less.
Exactly. Welcome to today's custom-tailored deep dive. We are looking at a single, incredibly detailed source image teasing what appears to be an upcoming remake of Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, and it is brilliantly titled Apocalypse Meow.
I mean, you really can't beat that title. Our mission today isn't just to describe this bizarre piece of media, but, to figure out exactly why our brains are so captivated by this clash of adorable pets and severe trauma.
And what it says about how you consume modern media, really, because this image functions almost like a cognitive trap.
The cognitive trap.
Yeah, it meticulously recreates the gritty, chaotic aesthetic of a Vietnam War, epic-like, the smoke, the cinematic scale, but it swaps the entire human cast for cats and dogs.
It's just wild.
It is. It forces you to reconcile two totally opposed concepts in a single glance.
Okay, let's unpack this central figure, because it is just arresting. We have this orange tabby cat standing upright on a war-torn beach, clutching an M16.
Right, and the costuming is hyper-specific.
Oh, totally. We're looking at a green military fatigue jacket, rank insignias, a U.S. Army patch, and get this, a name tape reading, R. Cope.
Our cope. That is just, too perfect.
And that classic cavalry Stetson hat with crossed sabers. It's honestly like Puss in Boots got drafted into a gritty 1970s Coppola film.
That is exactly what it looks like.
But my question is, does putting authentic photorealistic combat gear on a cute furry face, does that undermine the profound weight of the original movie?
That's a great question.
Because I feel like it creates a sort of defense mechanism for you as a viewer, letting us look at horror without actually feeling it.
Well, what's fascinating here is the psychological mechanism you just touched on. It isn't necessarily undermining the original. No, it's utilizing absurdity to bypass our normal emotional filters. Like when you see photorealistic textures of military gear and destruction, your brain expects horror.
Right.
But when you see a fluffy tabby cat, your brain expects comfort or, humor.
So they're clashing.
Exactly. Forcing those two emotional states to fire simultaneously creates a glitch. We often use that exact blend of humor and horror in internet culture as a coping mechanism for, well, an overwhelming world.
That makes a lot of sense, especially when you think about how you process your daily scrolling. On any given day, you might see devastating global news right next to a silly cat meme on your feed.
Right in the same timeline.
Yeah, and this teaser for an upcoming movie seems to literally compress that entire fractured scrolling experience into a single frame.
And if we look past Captain Tabby for a second, the background illustrates that fractured experience perfectly.
Oh, the background is chaotic.
Completely chaotic. We are looking at a sky just swarming with helicopters and landing crafts hitting the beach amidst billowing black and orange smoke.
But the actual factions fighting, this is where it gets really crazy. You have cats, including a Siamese and a black cat, right in the surf, storming the beach.
Yeah.
And entrenched in the sand, firing heavy machine guns, are dogs.
Golden retrievers and German shepherds.
Wearing actual combat helmets.
It's unbelievable. We're taking the most mundane domestic conflict imaginable, like a household squabble between a dog and a cat over a spot on the sofa, and mapping it onto one of the most traumatizing historical conflicts of the 20th century.
It's a huge escalation.
Right. By elevating a living room pet rivalry to a full-scale cinematic assault, it actually highlights the absurdity of human warfare itself.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, if we look at animals fighting over a beach with human weapons and think, well, that looks utterly ridiculous, it subtly asks us why we don't always think human beings doing the exact same thing is equally absurd.
That is a really sharp point. So what does this all mean for you as a viewer? We're looking at a teaser for an upcoming remake that somehow perfectly blends the easy memeability of pet culture with the heavy gravity of cinematic history.
It's a bizarre mix.
It is, but it gives you an excuse to look at something dark because it's wrapped up in something cute, turning our modern coping mechanism into this huge visual spectacle.
Which is exactly why we are so drawn to this type of media in the first place. It makes the unbearable palatable.
It really does.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder today.
Lay it on us.
If an upcoming film recasts a story about the profound horrors of war entirely with adorable pets, does the cuteness actually make the violence easier to swallow? Or does tricking our brains into letting our guard down make the underlying message of war far more disturbing?